이번 주에 또 돌아온 고품격 한국어 영어 반반 팟캐스트 하프앤하프의 정태용입니다. 반갑습니다.
And I'm Jeep. Welcome to Half and Half. We're off to a really good start. And today we're going to talk about a very controversial topic. Can you introduce this topic in Korean? Because it's more Korean specific, I think.
그렇습니다. 지난 시간에 앞에 설명했던 것처럼 YouRight 5201님께서 계란 반숙 대 완숙이나 탕수육 부먹 찍먹처럼 국가가 다르니 유니버셜하지만 호불호 갈리는 거나 취향 타는 걸로 논쟁을 벌여보시는 건 어떨까요? 뭐가 더 맛있는가? 네, 이 댓글에 따라 한번 해보기로 했습니다.
Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. We always appreciate those. I'll explain this in English a little bit because I think somebody who isn't familiar with Korean culture might not even understand what this is talking about. So there's a very long debated topic in Korea of for certain types of food, specific types of food, do you prefer, or not do you prefer, is it correct? Is it correct to dip the food in the sauce, or is it correct to pour the sauce on the food and then eat it that way? And there's a lot of debate about which is correct, and people will sort of identify with one or the other about like, oh, I'm a person who dips or I'm a person who pours. And once you've sort of chosen one direction, you really don't go the other way. That's my basic understanding of the topic as a non-Korean.
근데
Yeah.
진짜 핵심을 찔렀어요.
Yeah.
뭘 더 좋아하느냐의 문제가 아니라 무엇이 옳냐, 무엇이 맞냐에 대한 문제라고 했잖아요.
Exactly. Yeah. What's the correct way?
진짜 다들 그렇게 뭔가 태도를 가지고 있는 것 같아요.
Yeah. So you already said it, but tell me again, what specific foods or dishes is this question about?
아니, 탕수육.
탕수육.
네, 탕수육이죠, 탕수육.
Okay. So, we have Korean restaurants where I've lived in Canada and USA, and some of them have Korean Chinese food like 탕수육. When we order that in USA or Canada, it always comes with the sauce already on it. They don't put it on the side. So that's just how they serve it there. So I don't know, if a Korean goes to that restaurant and wanted to dip their food, do you think they would be angry? Or do you think maybe the server would see that they're Korean and know to not put the sauce on when they order it? I don't know. Just curious.
요즘은 제가 가는 곳들은
Yeah.
다 소스를 따로 주거든요. 근데 제가 어디서 듣기로 진짜 오리지널 레시피, 원래 레시피는
Yeah.
소스를 붓는 거라고는 들었어요.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
네, 근데 막 소스를 붓는 쪽을 안 좋아하는 사람들의 이야기는
Yeah.
튀김이, 탕수육 돼지고기 튀김이 바삭해야 맛있는데
Yeah, it's nice and crunchy.
네, 근데 소스를 부으면 눅눅해지지 않냐.
Yeah, it gets all soggy.
그쵸. 그래서 그게 싫어서 소스를 부으면 안 된다고 하는데
Yeah.
근데 제가 어디서 되게 유명하고 오래 요리를 한 중식 셰프가 말을 한 거를 들은 것 같은데 어떻게 요리를 잘 한 탕수육은 그 소스를 부어도 씹을 때 그게 계속 바삭하다는 거예요.
I see. It's a special recipe that still stays crispy even when you put the sauce on it.
그렇죠. 그래서 그 요리를 잘 하면
If you cook it really well. Yeah.
네. 그래서 원래 붓는 거다 이런 얘기를 어디서 들었는데.
I see.
근데 모두가 요리 고수는 아니잖아요.
Yeah. So hopefully this isn't too controversial for you to say what is your opinion, but I'm curious. What are you, a dip or a pour person?
저는 굳이 따지면 찍먹파거든요. 찍어 먹는 파.
Okay. I think generally that's what I prefer too. Like, I think I don't feel so strongly that I have to just pick one because I can be happy either way. But I do like dipping foods because sometimes I want to get like a big dip and sometimes I want to do a small one and I can sort of choose what I want. and it depends on the flavor of the sauce and all these things. So I know that my wife very specifically likes dipping foods much more than pouring, because she doesn't always like the sauce and she doesn't like saucy foods, I should say it that way. And so she wants to just have a little bit of flavor like that. So.
어허, 그렇구나. 아, 근데 사실 저는요, 탕수육을 소스에 그냥 잘 안 찍어 먹어요.
Really? You want that poured on?
아니요. 그러니까 그냥 아예 소스를 안 먹는 경우가
You said you
많아요.
order it separately. You just don't eat the sauce at all?
거의 안 먹어요.
Ah, okay. Just eat a tiny bit. Yeah.
그냥 그 튀김만 먹으면서 그 간장을 같이 주거든요. 간장에 고춧가루를 팍팍 뿌려서
Ah, okay.
막
Yeah.
풀면 그 고춧가루가 풀어져 있는 간장이 있잖아요. 저는 그거에 찍어 먹거나
Ah, yeah.
아니면 그 짬뽕 있잖아요.
Jampong is already very saucy though, right? Like that's
짬뽕은 국물이 있죠, 그냥.
am
그
I thinking
짜장면
of it wrong?
짬뽕.
Jampong, isn't that a soup? Am I misunderstanding?
면이 있는 그
Yeah.
국이죠.
Yeah.
그 빨간 면.
Yeah.
그러니까 그 탕수육을 그 돼지고기 튀김 탕수육을
Yeah.
그 짬뽕 국물에
Oh,
찍어
you
먹어요.
dip it in the jampong.
네.
You can do that? Is that allowed? Okay.
맛있어요.
Ooh, I should try that sometime. That sounds pretty
그게
good.
맛있어요, 진짜. 네.
Okay, all right.
그 저는 그래서 그러니까 어떻게 보면은 그 소스 찍먹 파도 아니고 부먹 파도 아닌 거죠. 그냥 저는 저만의 방법대로 먹는 사람이기 때문에.
I see.
근데 뭐 굳이 따지면 찍먹.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay, so I already told you this before we started this episode, is that there's not a lot of debate about this in USA or Canada. It's just not a topic. So I brought a few related topics that I think might be interesting.
네.
So the first one that comes to mind, I'm curious about the Korean perspective on this. Do you know about the TV show Seinfeld? Have you ever heard of this show?
제리 사인펠드 그
Yes.
사람 쇼 보지는 않았어요.
Okay. It's an old sitcom. Like, this is before Friends, so it's pretty old, right? It's like from the 90s. And that show had the characters are very what's the word? They get into a lot of fights, like debates or arguments with each other or with other like people. Like in they live in New York. They get into a lot of arguments. And one episode, one of the big arguments, and this isn't just from Seinfeld, but it's very famous from Seinfeld. The argument is you can't double dip, they say. You can't double dip. So if you have like some like ranch or some sauce, right? And you have a potato chip.
네.
So you dip the potato chip and you take a bite.
네.
You can't dip again. You already took one bite. You can't double dip, right? At a party, you can't double dip. And generally most people would agree with this, would say you can't double dip. Like it's not clean, like it's not healthy, because you took a bite and now you're putting it back in where everybody else touches it. But then one of the characters on the show says, I can double dip whenever I want. I can do what I want. And so there's a big argument about this. Okay, so I know in Korea, like sharing food or family style food is much more common than in the West. So do you have any rules about double dipping, or like, is there any disagreement about this?
저는 개인적으로 그렇게 그 입에 먹던 거를 다시 찍는 걸 좀 안 좋아하거든요.
Yeah, it's not good. You think it's not good.
저는 그렇게 생각해요.
Yeah.
그래서 만약에 감자튀김을 이렇게 된 거를
Yeah.
그 먹은 쪽이 있으면 거기를 손으로 잡고 그 안 먹은 쪽을 뭐 찍거나 하거든요.
Yeah, you flip it around and use the unbitten part. You can do that. I agree.
네네. 그런데
Yeah.
그런데 다른 사람이 그거에 대해 이야기하는 걸 제가 한 번도 들어본 적이 없어요, 한국에서.
Okay. People don't usually
그러니까-
debate that.
네, 그러니까 신경을 안 쓰는 것 같아요. 그러니까 그냥 그냥 먹는 것 같아요. 더블 딥을 하는 것 같아요.
Uh-huh.
네.
Yeah. So I think I don't know if I've told you this before, but when I'm hungry, I don't I don't want to say that I'm rude, but I just don't think about anything. I just want to eat food immediately. And so for double dipping, like it's something that I won't think about if I'm not like consciously thinking about it. Especially if we're like at a restaurant and it's just like a few people, like not at a party, but at a restaurant, I'll just like think about, oh, I can have this and that and whatever. And my wife will always notice if I'm about to double dip something and be like, whoa, 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 stop. You can't double dip that.
Oh.
So, and even when we were in Korea, when, of course we have like family style foods because like I ate with my friends or with their family and people like that. And so there could be, 5 or 6 people at a table with lots of different foods. And, I would just be eating and choosing what I want to eat. And Rachel's always like, hey, you can't double dip that. And I'm like, we're in Korea. I can do what I want. So I don't know.
너무 배가 고플 때는 이성을 잃고 더블 딥을 하기도 한다. 그 말이에요.
Yeah. Exactly. I just don't think about it because I'm so hungry.
근데 이거는 제가 혼자 그냥 머릿속으로만 했던 생각인데 혹시 그 더블딥 논쟁에서 나오는 얘기인지 궁금한 게 있거든요. 들어보세요. 그 소스가 이런 막 물처럼 찰랑찰랑하는 소스가 있고
Right.
그리고 그 이렇게 막 뻑뻑한 케찹 같은 소스가 있잖아요.
Sure. Yeah.
근데 잘 보면 그 뭐 잘 보면 만약에 여기 감자튀김이다. 그러면은 요거를 케찹에 딱 찍었다가
Right.
그 빼면은 그 여기에 케찹이 다 묻어 있잖아요.
Right. Totally.
그러니까 그 말은
Yeah.
그 여기에 있는 케찹에는 요 감자튀김이랑 닿지 않은 거예요.
Exactly. It with like a stickier, thicker sauce. When you pull it out, a lot comes with it, and so the food that you put in never actually touched the sauce that remains in there. Like,
그렇죠.
it's more of a formality or a being extra careful kind of thing. Why
네.
people still don't do it even with a thicker sauce, but I agree. Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. Again, I think it's just a formality thing. People are like extra careful about it. They want to like consider other people and like their health and their feelings and all those things. So yeah. So another debated topic. I don't know that this is a very common one, but in our office, there became a very debated topic where I don't think in Korea you don't eat very much cereal, like cereal with milk, right?
아, 시리얼 많이 먹죠.
You've eaten a lot of cereal then.
아침에 먹는 사람들 많아요.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that it wasn't common. Okay, so there's a debate in our office. Do you put in the cereal first and then put in the milk? Or do you put in the milk first and then the cereal?
오,
So I would say like here, 95, maybe 98% of people always put in the cereal first, then the milk.
그쵸. 그게 맞지
Yeah.
않아요?
Yeah, I think so. But there was a few people in our office who say that putting in the milk first is much, much better because then the cereal stays crunchy. It doesn't get soggy. And you can like kind of push it into the milk at whatever pace that you want.
어허.
Yeah.
시리얼을 시리얼 먼저 넣냐, 우유 먼저 넣냐인데. 그렇구나. 저는 반대의 이유로 시리얼 먼저 넣는 게 좋다고 생각했는데. 아니
So-
네.
So I tried it once. I tried putting in milk first because of this debate. I was like, I'll try it and see. I didn't like it. It wasn't good.
예. 그러니까 그 우유 위에 뜨잖아요, 시리얼이.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
네, 그럼 이걸 막 억지로 이렇게 막 눌러야
Exactly. You have
되고.
to keep pushing it down because the cereal floats on top of the milk usually. So
그쵸.
I don't know. Didn't make sense. So it's that. Okay. So I'm going to keep giving you a few more debated topics. So
네.
in England, nobody cares in USA or Canada because we don't care about tea. But in England, putting in the tea first, like the hot tea, and then adding milk, or putting in the milk first and then adding tea. People debate this a lot. This is at the same level of debate as the Korean like dipping versus pouring sauce. Like people are very, very like strict about this.
진짜요?
Yeah.
차에 우유를 넣는구나.
So that's what I said. I'm like, why would you put milk in tea? I don't even think that makes sense. And then if you say that to an English person, they just get mad at you because, like, I guess that's how they do it. They want milk in their tea. But I don't understand that concept.
아 근데 밀크티라는 그 메뉴가 있긴 있잖아요.
True. They do have milk tea. Yeah, that's true. That's much more common. But that's more of like, I feel like that's like a sweet dessert cold drink rather than like a hot drink.
따뜻하게도 먹어요. 근데 밀크티는 그 조금 끓이는 그 과정이 있는 걸로 알고 있는데.
Exactly. Yeah.
근데 그냥
Yeah, you boil it first and then cool it down. But when English have tea with milk, it's usually hot tea. You add some milk and it's still hot tea. It's just slightly less hot. So, I don't know.
그래요? 근데 그거 알아요? 라면에 우유 넣어 먹을 수 있는 거?
Really?
네.
Do you do that?
저 가끔 먹어요, 그렇게.
Whoa. Is it good?
괜찮아요.
Oh, okay.
그리고,
maybe I'll try that. Because
네.
I know that like sometimes you add cheese, which in Western culture we don't do that. We don't add cheese. But I've had like some Korean ramens with cheese flavor, and it's pretty good. Like, and when I was in Korea, I had ramen with cheese, or I had like budae-jjigae with cheese, and that was good. So,
네.
do you think that's similar to adding milk, or is it different?
좀 달라요.
Okay, it's different.
네, 치즈 넣는 거랑 우유 넣는 거랑은 좀 다르고.
Yeah.
조금 더 안 맵고. 그리고 뭔가 그 크리미한 맛이 좀 생기는데. 이건 먹어봐야 돼요.
No, that's interesting. I'll try that because, like you said, it makes it a little bit more mild, and there's a lot of very spicy like ramens from Korea.
그렇죠.
Also, so there's a buldak flavor of ramen that's carbonara. I don't know how you say
까르보나라?
carbonara. Yeah, which in English we would say carbonara.
네.
But I've tried to make that flavor a few times, and I feel like it's always like a little bit like watery. Like it doesn't feel like creamy like it should be. But maybe if I used milk, then it would make it a little bit more creamy. So maybe I should try that.
아니요, 그건 아니에요.
No?
그건 하면 안 돼요.
Don't add milk to carbonara?
네네.
carbonara?
그 우유는 국물이 있는 라면에만 넣어야 돼요.
Yeah. No. You cook it in water first, and then remove the water, and then add milk. That's what I'm saying.
그렇게.
So what situation do you add milk? Because that's the first thing I imagined.
그냥 그 국물이 있는 라면 있잖아요.
Yeah.
그냥 신라면 그런 거. 그 국물에다가 우유를 넣는 거예요.
Really? Okay.
네, 물론 면도 같이 있을 때.
Yeah.
그럼 이제 국물이 그 우유를 넣은 국물이 되는 거죠. 네, 그 맛있어요.
Okay. All right.
맛있고.
Yeah. Go ahead.
그리고 그 자기 전에 라면을 먹으면 다음 날에 막 얼굴이 좀 붓거든요. 외국인은 안 그러나? 한국은
No, we don't have that problem. I know that like I've never experienced this because I'm not Korean, but I've heard that Koreans say that you get like a little bit bloated like sometimes. Yeah.
네, 맞아요.
Yeah.
근데 그렇게 국물에 우유를 넣어서 먹으면
Yeah.
다음 날 얼굴이 안 부어요.
Okay. So maybe it reduces that symptom of eating ramen a little bit.
그쵸.
Okay. I'll give it a try. What was I going to say though? There's I'm putting this complaint here where nobody will ever see it, but I just want to say this complaint. So on the buldak carbonara package in English, there is a mistranslation that makes it like terrible. So what it says, I'll tell you what it says, is it says, boil the ramen and then pour off the water. This is in English. Pour off the water except for 2 tablespoons of water, it says. But this is not right. It should be 2 teaspoons of water because 2 tablespoons is way, way too much. And it makes it like really, really like watery and like it doesn't make any sense. It should be 2 teaspoons, but there's this mistranslation on there. And so anybody who doesn't know Korean who tries this ramen and follows the instructions, they're just doing it completely wrong. I wish they would fix that in the translation.
아, 진짜요?
Yeah, really.
나도 한번 찾아봐야 되겠다.
At least this is from maybe a year or a year and a half ago. If they've fixed it since then, good job. But like, as far as I know, the translation's just wrong.
아, 그게 1년 전이었어요?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
지금은 어떨지 궁금하네.
Yeah, I'll have to check because I think they sell pudak here in Spain, so I'll check and see. Although, wait, it would probably be in Spanish, so I don't know.
그렇네요.
But yeah, tablespoon and teaspoon are completely different. I don't know if you use the same because you just use milliliters in Korea, so it isn't as confusing, I think. Anyway.
아니 근데 한국 포장지에도 그냥 뭐 2 티스푼을 남기고 버리세요 이런 식으로 써져 있을 거예요 아마. 저는 근데 물 그냥 쫙 다 버리는 거 좋아해가지고.
Right.
네, 물 다 버리는 게 그냥 제 취향이.
Yeah, just get rid of it all usually.
네.
Yeah. I mean, in Western culture, when we eat ramen like from the package, usually we don't remove the water. Maybe if it's Korean style ramen and you know Korean culture, you might, but in general, we leave the water in. But I think that's because at least Japanese ramens that I've had are more that style, and people are more familiar with Japanese ramen. So I don't know.
그렇죠.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another debated topic.
그 전에 저도 하나 한국에 많이 있는 게 있는데, 그 뭐 먹는 방법의 문제는 아닌데, 그냥 이게 좋냐 안 좋냐로 크게 갈리는 게 있거든요. 민트 초콜릿을 좋아하냐 안 좋아하냐가 엄청 갈려요.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one because when I lived in the USA, I never heard a single person ever complain about mint and chocolate. Like everybody liked it. But when I moved to Canada, it was almost half and half. Like some people didn't like it, some people did. And I was really surprised by that. I didn't know that in other places people didn't like mint chocolate combo. And in Korea, I guess most people don't like it, is my guess. But yeah, that's so weird. I don't understand. I love that flavor. So yeah.
그렇구나. 아니 좀 이게 치약의 영향인 것 같아요, 제 생각엔.
It's addictive?
아니요, 치약.
It's a drug? What is?
아니 칫솔 치약.
Oh, sorry. Toothpaste.
네.
Okay.
그게 한국에서 쓰는 대부분의 치약이 민트 맛이거든요. 그 입에 넣으면 쏴 하고 시원한 느낌이.
Right. Yeah.
그게 민트 향이 거의 치약 향으로 굳어졌는데.
Yes.
그거랑 초콜릿이랑 섞으니까 좀 이상한 거죠.
I see. We have mint toothpaste too. It's very common in USA. And like you said, it's very like refreshing. But we like, personally, just when I eat chocolate ice cream, having that refreshing flavor also there, I really like that. I don't think about toothpaste. I just think about, wow, this is so nice and like, just refreshing and like easy. I don't know. But we also like, so some people don't like this, I'll just say, but there was, I don't remember what company it was. There was like flavored waters where there's like, lemon flavor and strawberry flavor, very, very light flavor. But there was also a chocolate mint flavored water that I would get sometimes. And it was so good. And a lot of people didn't like it. Like it was just me who liked it. So I really like that flavor.
이거는 되게 갈리는 부분이네요.
Yeah.
저는 진짜 한 3일 굶지 않는 이상은 안 먹거든요. 민트 초코?
Yeah.
좀 이상한 느낌인데?
There is one problem. I'll say this. After you brush your teeth, you feel like you have kind of a minty flavor in your mouth. You just like, and later, maybe 20 minutes later, you might be like, oh, did I brush my teeth? I don't remember. Oh wait, the mint flavor. Yeah, I did. Okay, I remember that I brushed my teeth because I still have that flavor. Sometimes if I've eaten chocolate mint ice cream, like 20 minutes later, I'll be like, did I brush my teeth? I don't know because it tastes minty, but it might be the ice cream. It might be toothpaste. I don't know. So, so it makes it hard for me to remember if I've brushed my teeth or not sometimes. That's maybe one small problem. Yeah.
그런 문제가 있을 수도 있군요.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's that drink in Korean, that subak drink, the punch?
에?
It's a watermelon punch drink where you have like watermelon.
수박 화채?
화채, yeah.
네, 화채.
Sometimes with milk, sometimes with milkies, or like, different, like soda, Sprite, things like that, right?
밀키스, 네.
Yeah. But I've also seen as an ingredient, sometimes you add mint into 화채 also.
민트를 그거 넣을 수도 있겠네요.
I've seen it sometimes. And when I've made it, like subak 화채, I think adding mint, it's really, really good. I think it makes the flavor
잘 어울릴
really
것 같아요.
great. Yeah.
잘 어울릴 것 같은데 그러니까 그게 민트를 그 수박 화채에 넣는다던가 아니면 뭐 레모네이드에 넣는다던가
Yeah, you can add mint to lemonade. It's pretty good.
그렇죠 뭐 그런다던가 뭐 아무튼 그런 산뜻한 거에 넣으면 그 되게 프레시한 그 상큼하고 산뜻한 그 맛과 향이랑 시너지를 낼 수 있을 것 같은데
Right.
근데 이제 그 초콜릿의 그 딱 무거운 스윗함이랑은 좀 뭔가 좀 떨어져서 놀지 않나 이런 생각이.
Yeah, I see your point. But I guess generally when I eat chocolate, or the chocolate that I like is closer to dark chocolate and not sweet chocolate or milk chocolate. And so when it's darker chocolate, which has a more bitter like flavor, more like coffee, then adding the mint makes it, I don't know, it balances the flavor a little bit. In my opinion.
밀크 초콜릿 계통이 아니고 다크 초콜릿.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever put mint with milk chocolate, but I wouldn't eat milk chocolate in general, so I don't know.
네.
Yeah, that's how I think about it.
그렇구나. 또 다크 초콜릿이랑 민트 초콜릿은 안 먹어봐서 저도 잘 모르겠네요, 아직은.
Yeah, give it a try. So in actually just this morning in Spain, there's a common drink that I had this morning. It's called gazpacho. It might be Italian. I don't know that it's actually a Spanish drink, but people will drink it in the morning sometimes here. It's like tomato blended with something. I don't know exactly what is in it. But gazpacho also has mint in it usually, like not like mixed in, but like just one mint leaf right in the glass. And so while you're drinking the gazpacho, you'll get that like mint flavor, like just a little bit. It's pretty good. I like it.
그렇구나. 그거 알아요? 토마토 갈아서 주스 만들 때 설탕 넣는 거보다
Yeah.
소금 넣는 게 더 달아지는 거 알아요? 예, 저 그렇대요.
Yeah, I agree.
설탕 대신 소금을 넣는 게 더 달다고 합니다.
Yeah. I've tried that sometimes, and I agree. It tastes really good to add a little bit.
그래요?
Yeah.
그리고 우유에도 소금 넣어 먹으면 좀 맛있어요.
I haven't tried that, but it does make sense because
그쵸.
like sometimes with like pasta, if I'm using tomato sauce, I might add a little bit of milk and it makes it a little more creamy. So, yeah.
아니요. 그냥 우유에.
I know what you're saying.
네, 그냥 우유에. 네.
Oh, wait. You're saying add sugar to milk?
아니요, 소금.
Oh, adding salt to milk.
네.
Oh, I've never done that. What? Oh no.
네, 소금.
Is that really a good idea?
괜찮아요.
Okay, I'll try it. I guess.
한번 드셔보세요.
I'll give it a try. I have a list of things to try now, but I'll try it. Yeah, salt with milk. I guess it could make sense because like if you use like a creamy, like milky pasta sauce, you could add salt, of course, and that's fine. Or like chowder, we have like seafood chowder would be a little bit salty and milky. So I guess it's possible. I'll try it.
더 달아져요. 더 단맛이 잘 느껴져요.
Really? Yeah, salt always seems to like enhance the existing flavors in something. Like it
그런 것
makes the
같아요.
existing flavors a little more strong. Okay,
네.
I'll try it. Okay, so one more debated food. This one's specifically from Spain. So I've been here for 1 month now at the time we're recording this. And I've seen a few T-shirts that at first I was confused about, but now I understand. So the T-shirts say something like paella. Do you know paella? Paella.
네, 스페인 요리.
Yeah. Paella is not just rice with stuff. That's what the shirt will say, like in text written on it. Paella is not just rice with stuff. And I'm like, what is this shirt? What does that mean? And I saw it in a lot of different places. Oh. And then yesterday, when I was walking around, I saw another shirt that said paella and then chorizo. Chorizo is a type of sausage. It's like a spicy sausage. And then like a big X through the chorizo, like no chorizo in paella. No. And so I was like, what is this? And so I finally looked it up. And since like 2016, so for 10 years, this has been a very controversial topic. There was some, I don't know who, because I don't know the topic very well. There was some foreign chef who was making paella and put chorizo in the paella as an ingredient, like said, oh, you can do this paella recipe, add chorizo. And Spanish people were really angry about this because chorizo has a very strong flavor. It's like very like smoky, salty, and spicy. And they think that it ruins the flavor of paella. Like, and also Spanish people, I'm not talking about every Spanish person, just in general, my understanding of this topic. Spanish people, paella has like specific types of paella. There's A, B, C, D, E, like very specific types that you can do. You can't just take rice and put anything in it and call it paella. Then it's a different food. So if you have rice and you put chorizo in it, it's not paella. It's just rice with stuff. It's just rice with stuff.
굉장히
This is a
까다롭네요.
very debated topic these days, I think. It seems to be.
빠에야 볶음밥 같은 거잖아요.
Yeah, it's like 볶음밥. Yeah, similar.
네, 근데 요리하는데 시간이 꽤 걸리는 요리 아니에요? 그거?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I know that paella has like saffron is one of the main flavors or one of the main spices that's used, but it's like a very mild, like subtle spice. And so if you add something that's too strong, then you don't taste the saffron anymore. And so they don't like that. So I don't know. I'm still learning about this topic.
네,
Yeah.
네. 되게 음식에 그 자부심 같은 게 좀 느껴지네요.
Yeah.
뭐를 넣으면 빠에야가 아니다 이렇게.
Right. Yeah. And so, yeah. Like, you know, if you just put something in rice, is it still paella or not? You know, I didn't have a chance to research this completely, but they're actually trying to make some legislation or some legal rules to describe what is paella and what is not paella, so that it's very clear, like if you put this in, it's not paella anymore. So they want to be more specific about what is paella and they call it protecting the culture of that specific type of food. So yeah, it's very interesting.
그렇네요. 그 흥미롭다고밖에 말을 못 하겠네요.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen that with other things. For example, like tequila, the alcohol tequila, there's very specific laws and rules about what is tequila and what is not tequila. You can't just call anything tequila or it's illegal. And so it has to be from certain areas and it has to be made a certain way with certain ingredients and things like that. And there's also like certain types of wines, I think, or even whiskey, where if you want to call it a certain kind of whiskey or certain type of wine, it has to be from a specific region or like, you know, done in a specific way. Like otherwise it's like mislabeling and it's not considered legal. And so I think they're trying to do something similar with paella. That's my understanding.
오, 그게 문화를 지키기 위해서 그러는 거예요?
Yeah. Protect the culture.
좀 많은 생각이 들긴 하는데
Yeah.
근데 함부로 말을 하면 안 될 것 같네요.
Right. But so one thing that I've noticed when I visited Korea, so I've been there a few times, and whenever I would meet up with friends or their family, when I was eating, I would usually ask like, how do you eat this food? What's the correct way or what's the right way to eat this food? And I would say like 99% of the time, they would say, just eat it however you want. Like there's no special way, like there's no special order. There's no whatever. They might say you should eat the rice last, not first. But otherwise, like they were like, just do whatever you want, whatever you like. And I was always kind of surprised by that because by contrast, when I went to Italy or when I went to Japan or France or England, almost Germany, anywhere else that I've been, when I ask a similar question, they're very specific about here's how you eat this food. You do it this way, this way, this way, this way. Like, here's the instructions. But in Korea, they don't do that. They're just do whatever. Like, I found that very surprising that people are so relaxed about how to eat food in Korea.
그렇구나.
Yeah. And I would say Americans are usually similar. I think we don't strongly advise specific ways of eating foods usually.
네,
Not that I can think of.
그렇죠. 그게 막 그렇게 심한 편은 아닌 것 같아요, 확실히. 네, 뭐 각자의 뭐 선호하는 방법은 있을 수 있는데.
Yeah. Everybody does it different. So, yeah.
그렇죠.
Anyway,
좋습니다.
that's all I had. Do you have anything else?
아니 뭐 딱히 생각 안 나는데 그러면 이번 시간은 그 논쟁 자체를 하지는 않았고 우리가 그냥 논쟁 소개만 했네요.
You want to introduce something that we can debate about?
아니요. 그러니까 우리가 논쟁을 막 하지는 않았고.
Yeah.
예, 그냥 그 있는 논쟁들을 뭐 이런 논쟁이 있어요. 저런 논쟁이 있어요. 이런 것만 했네요.
Right. We talked about things that other people debate, but not us specifically. Like we don't have a disagreement. Oh no, we did disagree about one thing. We disagreed about chocolate mint. Yeah.
민트 초코?
I really like it. It sounds like you really don't. I don't think I need to convince you that it's good because I don't know. Like if you don't want the mint ice cream, I'll eat it all. That's okay with me.
그렇죠. 근데 이게 사실 이게 맞죠.
Yeah.
아니 근데 이상한 사람들이 인터넷에서 막 민트 초코 싫어하면 그냥 자기만 싫어하면 되는데 어떻게 민트 초코를 좋아할 수가 있어? 이렇게 막 하니까.
Right. Okay. I remember one more very, very, very controversial topic. This is controversial very much so in America and Canada. I don't know about the rest of the world. Pineapple on pizza is considered a very controversial topic. Is it the same in Korea?
그렇지는 않아요. 그 정도는 아닌데.
Okay.
그냥 좀 싫어하는 사람들은 있어요.
Sure, yeah. But everybody hates something on pizza. Some people don't like mushrooms. Some people don't like pepperoni. Like everybody hates something. But pineapple specifically is very, very debated.
그러니까요. 파인애플은 저는 초콜릿에 들어간 민트 같다고 생각을 해요.
Right. It's kind of like that. Yeah. Do you like pineapple on pizza? Because I do.
아니요. 안 좋아하죠.
You don't like it? Okay, we found something to disagree about.
좀 알겠다. 좀 그런 거에서 갈리는구나.
Yeah. So very specifically here in USA, they call it Hawaiian pizza. It actually started in Canada. It was originally a Canadian pizza called Hawaiian pizza. So Hawaiian pizza made in Canada is pineapple with ham. In USA, we would say pineapple with Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon is just ham in the USA. Anyway, I don't know. I think it tastes great. It's not my favorite kind of pizza, but I'm imagining a scenario. if I was in a completely black room, with no lights, I couldn't see anything, and I was picking up a slice of pizza, I didn't know what was on it. If it was ham and pineapple, I would be very happy with that choice. Happier than any other possible choice, I think.
아 진짜요?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to say this. It's just, to me, it's like, it tastes good. It's not offensive. Like, there's no problem. If I accidentally grabbed like something like a pepperoni pizza, I would be like very disappointed.
왜요?
Or even sausage sometimes. I might be like, I wish I had something else.
왜요? 페퍼로니 피자가 얼마나 맛있는데.
I feel like for me, like it doesn't, it hurts my stomach a little bit. It doesn't like settle well in my stomach usually.
아 그렇구나.
I do like spicy food, but not specifically pepperoni pizza.
그렇게 안 맵잖아요, 페퍼로니 피자?
Yeah.
아 매운가?
Yeah, it's a little. It was here in USA. It's a little bit spicy. Yeah. Yeah. So.
아 근데 파인애플 피자는
Yeah.
그냥 전혀 다른 음식이 섞여 있는 것 같아요.
Yeah.
네,
Cheese
그러니까,
and pineapple and ham. Yeah, it's weird that they're mixed
네,
together.
피자 조각이 이렇게 딱 있잖아요. 부채꼴 모양으로.
Yeah.
그 있는데 그 갑자기 여기 그냥 다른 음식이 그냥 섞여 있다니까요. 갑자기 여기만.
Right.
부터 아 이거 뭐야 이렇게 뭐 하고.
I see. Interesting. Yeah.
그렇던데.
So anyway, I understand why people don't like it. It's fine if they don't like it, but for me, it's really good. I think it's like a great flavor. In Hawaii, Hawaiian pizza would be, they have like a barbecue pulled pork.
네.
That's, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Kalua pork. I might be making that up. But Kalua pork pizza in Hawaii is pretty popular.
와 진짜 맛있겠다.
Yeah, it's really good.
와, 저 그거 먹어보고 싶네요.
Yeah, definitely try that sometime.
와, 그러면 진짜 하와이에서 먹는 그 하와이 시그니처 피자에는 파인애플이 안 들어가 있네요.
No, I don't think so. I've never seen it there.
왜 그러는 거야 그러면?
Yeah. Don't know. But yeah, I think that's all the controversial food topics I can think of.
아, 뭐 저도 다 나온 것 같은데요. 아 근데 뭐 그 저나 찌프나 뭐 성향이 그 성격이 사실 막 논쟁을 좀 잘하는 성격이 아니라서.
True. Yeah. I don't like to. I don't like to have a. I like how you say 논쟁. It's like a really funny word to me. But like have a what do we call that? A petty fight. We would call it a petty fight, I think. Yeah, I don't like having petty fights. That's not my thing.
아 그쵸.
Yeah.
그러니까 사실 그 논쟁을 할 의지가 저도 없어서.
Yeah.
아 그냥 뭐 민트 초코 싫어하면 뭐 싫어하는 거고 좋아하면 뭐 많이 먹으면 되고. 근데 참 유튜브 영상 찍을 때는 잘 하는 게 좋은데 아쉽네요.
Too bad. Oh well.
네.
Yeah, I don't know what we could argue about. There would be like a strong disagreement. I'll have to think about that. I'll think about if there's something I would actually really argue about. I don't know if there is, but I'll think about it.
그쵸. 근데 그 우리가 예전에 했던 그 유명인의 그 개인적인 문제가 있을 때 뭐 그 사람의 물건을 상품을 뭐 서비스를 소비해야 할까 거기서 약간 논쟁을 한 것 같기도 해요.
That's true. Yeah.
그 부분은 예, 다른 생각이 있었으니까.
That's true. Yep. Do you have the word in Korean hot take? Do you use that same phrase in Korea, hot take?
그게 어떤 표현이에요?
Oh, you don't know that phrase? Oh, this is very, very common slang phrase these days. So hot take is sort of like, I have a strong opinion about something that is not a common opinion. It's an unusual opinion. So like if there's some Marvel movie where, some Spider-Man or whatever, like everybody likes the Spider-Man movie, but if I don't like it, I'd say I have a hot take. I don't like that movie because, here's why I don't like it. This character is weird, or I don't like this part. So in English is a common recent slang phrase we say, oh, I have a hot take about that. Like I have a hot take about, pepper. I could say I have a hot take about pepperoni on pizza because it's not a common disagreement. It's most people don't agree with this. But I was going to say I do have one hot take that I do not like the Resident Evil games. So
바이오하자드요?
Biohazard, yeah. I've tried many of them. I've not tried all of them because there's a million. But of all the ones I've tried, I do not like them. I do not enjoy them. I don't think it's fun. I can tell you why I don't like them, and I can have a strong opinion about it. So that would be my hot take. It's like Resident Evil
그래요?
series is just bad.
요새 레지던트 이블 2인가 할인하던데.
Very recently, a Resident Evil game came out, which a lot of people really like, and I haven't tried
Requiem.
it. So Requiem, yeah.
레퀴엠. 네.
So maybe I should try that one. Maybe this will be the one Resident Evil game I like. but I
그래요?
don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
근데 저는 레퀴엠은 살 수 없어요.
You didn't buy it.
살 수 없어요.
You can't buy it. Is it not available in Korea?
아니요, 비싸서.
Oh, it's just okay. You literally can't buy it because it's too expensive.
네. 그래서 그 레지던트 이블 2는 세일을 하기 때문에 살 수 있어요.
Yeah, sure. Good idea.
그래서 레지던트 이블 2는 제가 이번 기회에 사서 좀 플레이를 해볼까 싶은데. 그러면은 그 지프는 레퀴엠 한번 해보고.
Sure.
저는 레지던트 이블 2 한번 해보고.
Well, we should at least play the same game. Like I could play Resident Evil 2 maybe. But,
그래요? 레지던트 이블 2가 그 평가가 진짜 좋아요. 보니까.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
네, 그 스팀 레이팅에서 그 제일 높은 평가거든요.
Yeah, a lot of them have very high ratings. Yeah.
근데 이게 제일 그러면 바이오해저드 RE2 RE2 이거 한번 플레이 해보고.
Sure, yeah. That sounds fun. We could try that.
네네, 리뷰 겸 그 프로 앤 콘 한번 해볼까요?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. And I think if I don't like the game, because I don't know, but if I don't like it, I think I will probably have strong opinions about it. So,
좋습니다.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
잘 됐다. 저 이거 그러면 오랜만에 컴프리hen서블 인풋 코리안 그 라이브 하면서 이 게임 하면 좋겠다.
Good idea. Okay, cool.
네, 안 한 지 오래됐는데.
All right, we'll do that later. We'll do that sometime in the future because there's so many videos that we're still uploading. So we'll get.
그쵸. 그러면은 이렇게 구독자님들께서 그 추천해줬던 주제 2개는 여기서 둘 다 마무리 잘 했고, 그리고 또 그 주제 추천을 해주신다면 그걸 또 해보겠습니다.
Yep. Thanks for the topic. If you have more, please leave them in the comments, and yeah, we'll do other topics that are suggested.
네, 그리고 뭐 당장은 아니지만 우리가 또 한가할 때 레지던트 이블 2 RE2를 플레이하고 또 그거에 대한 논쟁도 한번 해보기로 하고요.
Sure.
네, 이쯤에서 마무리하겠습니다. 그러면 지금까지 저는 하프앤하프의 정태웅이었습니다. 감사합니다.
And I'm Jeep. You've been listening to Half and Half, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.